Get up. Let me do that. Sorry, y'all.
So probably should have been recording for that, huh? Oops.
It's content, but it's... Who needs content when you have...
When we have nothing?
When you have nothing. Who needs content when there's nothing? And then second part of that is there. That is also 2,000 characters. Basically, I'm just incompetent.
PK, do not be mean to yourself.
Thank you, Joe. Alright. Successfully sent all parts of that blob of text that I needed to send to Amy, which she found. Which is the only quality bit of prep that I did, but I'm very proud of it. So, that is the content that Lena finds most interesting. There's some talk of, in Mr. Madison's earlier journals, he's done resurrections successfully outside of Corwick. But this one was like that for reasons that he did not seem to quite fathom. So, there's that on that.
So specific.
Yep, I'm trying to be vague and because
yeah, we don't know.
Lena's reading it and you guys won't find out until Lena tells you, which who knows what's gonna happen there.
Or Lena could just decide not to tell us.
If she totally could, but she's pretty nice actually.
Thank goodness.
Back at Susanna's house while Amy is reading, when you all have answered many questions from Talia, I think we decided to have just a little general Talia cliff notes on the prime material plane action there. Susanna is...
At least stuff that is reasonably explainable. I think the gender question will still have to wait, because somebody is a little bit of shit.
Nobody's gonna ever answer that gender question to anybody's satisfaction.
Nope.
It's almost like it's a question that doesn't have a satisfactory answer, and my gender theory partner knows this.
Sometimes you just gotta be a little shit,
Gotta flex on him.
Gotta flex. Parker is flexing on us.
Yep.
By having Talia, a character who knows nothing about gender, ask about gender. Yep. So we have to explain it to Parker, a person who knows a ton about gender.
Professionally knows gender.
The content is real. Fuck.
Do you mind setting up Betsy, or are you not feeling it yet? Thank you, treasure.
Alrighty. Yes. Lena can do her research and come back from the temple.
More than okay. Yes, you don't have to. We can work through my phone. Okay, we're gonna disconnect in a moment very soon.
Okay.
And reconnect on Betsy, but we're just getting Betsy set up first.
Cool. Right. Lena, rocking back up from the temple, visibly freaked out.
Okay, that's a bit weird.
Y'all just don't see the face I'm making because I'm delighted that she's actually freaked out.
I still hope she's freaked out.
Is everything okay, Lena?
I don't know what Vavor's been up to. Presumably chilling. vibing, even. But she's probably hanging out in one of the guest rooms, possibly playing Go Fish with Dylan right now, actually. Let's say she's playing Go Fish with Dylan, because Dylan wanted to play last session. You did pretty good on your persuasion, so I'd say, you know what, they'll let you borrow it. That's nice of them.
That's some small town niceness right there.
That's some good old-fashioned Corwick courtesy.
Ugh.
And they probably said something about good old-fashioned Corwick courtesy. Well, they let you borrow the fucking journal, because that's who they are as a people.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't like them either.
Me remembering my 200 population town that I lived in for 6 months and how it was hell.
Alright. Would you like me to send Sarah the content, or shall you? Cool. Alright, you guys take care of that. Everybody else is sort of left out in the main room while Lena and Vera have a little spiritual people powwow.
We are
So that's concerning.
Probably just kind of back and forth.
we are blissfully
Answering what Atalia's questions we can between the three of us.
And we are doing a semi-passable job of it. I would say slightly above competent, even.
Okay, we are gonna hang up and reconnect.
Cool.
Maybe?
Alright.
Go for it.
Mm,
For it.
I don't know. Josh, why did you DM Paco?
Josh is on call.
I know.
Probably Icon?
Was it a picture of a cow?
Yeah.
Then that's Josh's fucking icon, bro. That's his character art.
Yep.
Okay.
Context clues.
Not sure if Vera knows how to play Go Fish either, but I'm gonna say that Dylan is winning. Because I'm the DM. And I think it's funny.
Why do I think that Vera is going easy on him sometimes?
Possible that Vera is taking all of her cues on how to play Go Fish from Dylan, who's taken all of his cues on how to play Go Fish from Vera.
Oh
So-
god.
That's how that's going.
They accidentally start making a complicated game of solitaire.
Very intense game that they're playing. And, in fact, one must be quite relieved that it was cut short, because otherwise it would have gotten far too intense.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I will be right back. I gotta get my food out of the oven.
Get your food out of the oven.
I need to munch.
Amy, I'm the one who plays the bard.
God. Keely Bard.
I felt like they needed to see it without context. Well, they got a little bit of context, but
That's such a good vibe. That's a cat.
sent a love kitty.
Kitty, 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 kitty. That's actually a baby. That
Oh,
is a
there's
baby
not much
right there.
cost.
Mm.
Susanna, at some point, is going to be fretting and worrying and trying to decide if she should just go over to her mother's house and, like, not make you guys deal with her and not make her deal with you guys, or if she should just wait for her to inevitably visit. And she is sort of fretting at the window, at the door, on and off.
Well, Donna wants to say, I mean, I could just... again, this is Donna's thought process, not what she's going to say, because she's got no sense to not say this. She wants to say we could do a repeat of what happened with Liza.
Oh.
She won't.
It is,
So I think she's just gonna go, Suze, would you be more comfortable going over there or having her come here?
Well, you know, I don't know, because if I go over there, it'll be easier, it'll be simpler, it'll be quieter for one thing. You guys can do whatever you want to do for the evening. But also, if I go over there, I will have to stay for dinner, so I will not be able to come back for dinner, and it will be very... It will be annoying. It will be annoying. I will admit that. It will be annoying, and I don't know. I mean,
Suze, I have already portioned for you to be here.
That's true. So I could, theoretically, get out of dinner if I go over.
And you said that she will leave at just about dinner time.
She will, because she doesn't... the religious people are having a good time.
The religious people are freaking freaked out.
That's valid of them. What time is it right now? Let me ask that question of myself. What time is dinner time? I don't know anything about time. It's 3:47. Just in case anybody was wondering. No. It's 4:22, actually. Gotta be specific.
Talia is vibing in the corner.
That's
Yeah.
good. Susanna is going to roll a thing to figure out if she's actually willing to go over and hang out with her mother-in-law for a couple hours.
I, as Joe, I'm kind of going, oh, don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. Well, good for Joe. Maybe not as good as you think, but good for Joe, because she eventually decides, you know what, okay, it'll just be better, and she won't be here for that long because she'll probably feel awkward with everybody here, so it'll be better that way, and if you guys seem uncomfortable, you can just go back to your rooms, and she will know that she's
Anyone who
here
doesn't
all
want to be there can hide in the rooms. There's kind of a look at Talia, just offering Talia the out of and not having to play monk.
Talia just shrugs.
Okay.
And yes, I mean, that'll be good. That'll be good. I mean, it's fine. Everything is fine. And she goes back to looking out the window, sort of anxiously. Did I mention it's weird for her to leave me alone this long? Like, she doesn't normally leave me alone this long.
Well, we as a group are uncouth and rude, and Donna says with a grin. She's taking it as a compliment at this point.
Uncouth and rude.
I amongst other descriptors that I'm sure you could add. We're not polite company.
1,000 ways I could describe you, for sure. But, of course, my mama would never describe any of my friends as uncouth and rude.
She'll just think it very loudly.
You don't even know her that well. She's not that bad.
That's fair. I'm not being fair.
I just keep getting distracted by the conversation, and I'm loving the content that is there. At some point, Susanna, watching out the window, actually catches sight of what she's looking for, and she says, "Oh, okay. So this is your last chance to run. My mama has brought company, and it is Liza. It is Liza. Okay, great. Liza's coming. All right, everybody, nobody panic. I will panic slightly."
Oh, I get to meet the woman now.
Talia disappears into their room.
Diana is gonna stay around.
Mm-hmm.
Vias is also going to stay.
All right, because Vias hasn't met Liza yet.
Yeah, he seems to be quite excited, as in like, oh yeah, I get to mess with this person.
Oh no!
Okay, so at about that time, there's a little knock on the door, and it opens. Susanna doesn't go and open it. They just open the door, and there you see Marion Crow in all her, middle-aged glory, and behind her you see Liza, and behind her, smaller, daintier, you see Cynthia Crow, who has evidently tagged along. And they all let themselves into the house, and Susanna comes up, and it's all sorts of pleasantries and nice, and kisses on the cheek and hugs, and oh, so good to see you. How was your day? How are you doing, darling? Back and forth, cycled between the four of them. It's a little bit nauseating.
That is what we call love bombing.
What was that?
No, I said that's what we call love bombing.
Yeah?
As Susanna makes, room for everybody to sit down, she says, "Would anybody like tea?" And Liza makes a face. It's a very ugly face. And Marion says, "You know what, darling? That is why I thought to come over here, because I thought I would bring Liza along and make sure that she apologized for that scene that she caused yesterday." And Liza looks very sour at this, but rearranges her features into a delightfully sweet smile. It hurts your teeth just to look at it. And she says, "Oh yes, cousin Susanna May, I'm so very sorry. I don't know what came over me, but I was so excited to see you, and then all the excitement of the day, I think I just lost control of myself." And Susanna smiles back exactly the same and says, "Oh, don't you worry a bit about it, Liza. I was so tired I hardly even remembered what happened. It's not a thing to concern yourself with. And it was such a busy day. I mean, tempers run high, and I don't know." But so that's a no on the tea then? And Cynthia says, "I'd love some tea, actually." And so Susanna runs off to do some tea, and you guys are left with the other three crows. Whoever's left in the main room, which I think at this point is just Diona and Vias.
Yeah.
Everyone ditched us.
I am looking up names because I cannot remember. I remember Anne-Marie, but I don't remember.
I don't know.
Cassie and Anne-Marie are the two little girls, and then Cooper is her husband.
I think Diona's going to turn to Cynthia and ask, "And how are little Cassie and Anne-Marie? I know I only saw them yesterday, but they're good kids."
"Oh, they're doing so well. It's wonderful. Oh, you should have heard them last night. They kept asking Kuva to tell them a bedtime story about the ocean, about ships and pirates on the ocean. So you must have filled their head with all sorts of delightful things. They were so excited. If they catch you tomorrow, you will not know a moment of peace."
Are any of those
I'm very
people?
okay with that. They're delightful little girls who are very fun to tell stories to.
Well, they think you're just fantastic. Marion Crow, now that she has served her purpose in forcing Liza to apologize, probably would swoop in on Bias because she knows him the best. And
That's the mother, correct?
That's the mother. That's Susanna's mother-in-law,
Okay.
Marion.
Because I was gonna ask, I'm like, who of these people has Vias not met yet? So.
Yeah. So you haven't met Liza, who is, a young woman, dark hair, purple dress, pale skin, and has very, not the loveliest countenance. She's a little bit of she's got some resting bitch face that she doesn't always take steps to hide, and when she does, it's horrifically sweet. But Marion will come over to you, Vice, and say, "And how are you enjoying the town, sir? I mean, I heard you went on a tour. It was that this morning? I think that was this morning. I heard you went on a tour this morning, got to see some of the sights, and how are you enjoying it?"
It was quite interesting, actually, to see this town. My town really isn't set up the same way. I mean, seeing history and the sights of this place has been enlightening.
Well, now you simply must tell me about your town, then. What about your town is so very different from our humble little place in the world here?
It's really nothing too much. I mean, we have farmland around the outside, almost like in a circle. A few gates. And the inner sanctum is just a bunch of home villages and, workshops and wineries and things. A whole assortment of different crafts and such. And the center is actually our kind of congregation scene. We have... Oh, goodness. Sorry, I have food in my mouth.
That's okay.
Won't go down. We have a central church to the Raven Crane, actually. It kind of is the center heart of our town.
Her face drops a little bit and is very quickly reinstated to her pleasant demeanor, but she's definitely a little bit put
her
off.
a bright smile.
Sorry, I missed that. My mom came in to talk to me.
Oh, I just said, he just gives her a bright smile and then adds on top of that, we also have different other churches for worship, like the Wild Mother and Pelor and things like that.
Oh yes, very good, very good. We have a fine temple to the Dawn Father ourselves here. I'm sure you've seen it. One of the jewels of our town.
It was quite a nice place.
So while that's going on, while Diona's talking to Cynthia, Susanna has prepared the tea and is bringing it around. And Liza...
I will make clear that Diana is not going to fuck with the tea this time.
All right, good to know. That is very good to know. The tea, unfucked with. Susanna distributes it to all her guests, and you guys as well, if you'd like it. But Liza immediately puts her cup down. And just doesn't even, Susanna, she takes it from Susanna and sets it down on a table so fast you'd have thought it would have burned her.
I'm glad I made an impression.
And
Joe, I'm glad I made an impression. Donna's not saying that.
Right. And she, as Susanna comes back around, having distributed the teacup, she grabs Susanna's hands and pulls her over and has a quiet little conversation in the corner that you guys are not probably.
So who pulls who aside? Sorry, I missed.
Liza pulls Susanna aside. And so you guys are chatting with Cynthia and Marion, respectively. Sorry, I'm just reading the religion chat. Good content. Liza has got Susanna for a little bit of conversation because otherwise she would have been lonely and left out. And Vias Marion continues to ask you sort of just general questions about your hometown. It's clear this is a very well rehearsed set of pleasantries.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Vias, honestly, is probably trying to avoid that. Like, going into major detail, he's probably just like, oh, there was something that I did once in this one area. Like, he's trying to be vague about his answers.
right. She doesn't seem to notice.
Good.
She doesn't seem to care more than that. Like, this is something that she's done 100 times with 100 different people, and the answers don't mean anything, because the fact that you're talking is basically irrelevant.
She's not very interested necessarily. It's just pleasantries.
It is all pleasantry all the time, but she does seem to have a warmth towards you, you know, in her demeanor.
That is good.
And Diona, Cynthia is chatting. She's telling you stories about her girls, specifically with how Susanna is such a lovely aunt to them, and how they missed her so terribly when she was gone. And just general little kid talk. She's a very proud mother. She's so pleased with her little girls. She thinks they're the best.
This is a conversation in this town Diona knows how to deal with, so she's happily engaging in this.
It is great. Hold on. Sorry, hold on. All right, cool. Back, sorry. I got an email about one of the screen dance festivals that I submitted to. I did not get accepted, but it's my first rejection, and I'm really proud of it, actually, because I actually submitted a film to a festival, so, like, I'm quite pleased with it.
Nice!
Anyway, what is happening here? It is not happening. Okay. So eventually, Susanna breaks free of the awkward conversation she was suffering with Liza, and comes back around to collect teacups and the like, including Liza's untouched teacup from the table.
Can I do something? Can Mercy fly over to the untouched teacup, look Liza in the eyes, and then just drink from her teacup?
Yeah, you can do that. You sure can.
She just gets her little beaky in there and starts drinking like a bird.
Is tea safe for a bird to drink? I didn't know that.
She's a special bird.
Clearly.
And then
Susanna,
Mercy parroted in her voice, says clearly.
She looks, like, pale. Like, she's, like, really startled and uncomfortable by this. Because Mercy's a white raven right now,
Yes, she is.
Yeah. Liza hates that. That is cursed content for Liza.
Liza is cursed content.
Liza is cursed content, too, as well. But she seems very, uncomfortable. And so Susanna, you know, while she takes the teacup from Mercy, she'll lean into Liza and say, well, do you need to refresh yourself, Liza? I've got some smelling salts if you'd like, or I've got a tonic back in my bedroom that you can go fetch if you like. You don't look well. Which is very faked concern, but she has to do it anyway. And Liza sort of nods and excuses herself to go refresh herself. At which point, if Talia, say, was waiting for an opportunity to ambush Liza Crow, say, this would be the time to do it, I guess.
Talia's gonna wait until she comes out of the bathroom and is heading back towards the group.
Alright, as she comes out, she's looking a lot more refreshed. She's, like, you know, powdered her face,
She's
looking
managed
good.
to get herself a bit more together.
she's looking very put together, and she's ready to march back on out and do something.
Talia is waiting in the hallway.
Oh no!
She draws up short at the sight of you and says, I didn't expect. I'm sorry. What are you doing here?
Talia just gives like one of those like short monk bows, then approaches.
She backs away.
Talia holds up their hands and then like, I'm not gonna hurt you way.
She stops and stands.
Talia holds their arms out as if offering a hug.
She looks... This is so disturbing. She looks incredibly confused, but sort of nods and goes in for the hug.
Talia gives a nice, like, firm hug, and in her ear, quietly enough, so that only she can hear it, goes, "Part of my monastery vows involves eating our dead. No one will believe you." Lets her go and walks back into their room.
Holy shit. That was everything I could have ever dreamed of. Liza looks like white as a sheet. Any like composure she'd just gotten after her Raven scare, gone. She looks disturbed. And she opens her mouth as if like to reply, and then she shuts it again.
Oh my god.
And then hurries back into the front room, sits herself down on a chair, and is just sort of like gazing. Whoever's in the living room sees Liza hurry back into the room, sit down in a chair, and just sort of gaze into the distance, like completely unaware of. She's like thinking real hard.
She checked out.
She's disturbed. And she a couple times keeps looking at Susanna as if she maybe wants to ask her something, but does not. Susanna, meanwhile, has joined the pleasant conversation with Cynthia and Diona and has left Vias to fend entirely for himself with Marion because...
Well, Vice is eating it up. He has, yeah. Talking to people.
I'm not sorry.
That was so... Parker, you don't know how happy... Like, that just took my heart and made it light again. Like, that was fucking beautiful.
I love it. I love this chaos that has brewed.
The hug was unsettling enough, and then you hit her with that, like... God, okay. Yeah. Eventually, Marion will release Vias because she will have remembered that she's here to pester her daughter-in-law and not her daughter-in-law's friends.
It's alright, we look similar.
Basically. And gets up and goes and pulls Susanna back over to her chair so that she can have a chat with her. And is... Anybody, Vias, you're probably there able to listen in. She is just, now that she's not doing pleasantries anymore, she is fussing. She's the queen of fuss, and she is showing off all of her fussing skill.
Oof.
And she's like looking Susanna up and down and, "Oh, you don't look well. Have you slept enough? You should be sleeping better than that now that you're back home. Oh my goodness. And now you see your face. Now you've got dark circles under your eyes. And oh, you better sit down now, darling." And just over and over, like any possible thing that she could find like physically wrong with Susanna, she is pointing it out. And noting that she is clearly unwell and must not, under any circumstances, strain herself to get more tea, and tells Liza to go fetch more tea. Liza...
Does that break Liza out of the semi-shell-shocked?
Liza snaps out of it a little bit, but not enough to protest it. So she sort of quietly goes to fetch more tea. And Marion's going on, and she's like, "You should take a sleeping tonic to sleep tonight, darling. You shouldn't, it's not right for you to be sleeping so uneasily. You should have something. Do you need me to go down to Mr. Mackenzie and fetch something?" And Susanna says, "No, Mama, I'm fine." And Marion says, "But you really should take something because I really think you ought to be sleeping better than you are." And Susanna says, "Mama, I'm fine." And Marion just keeps going.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
Eventually, Susanna says, "You know what, Mama? I have a sleeping tonic in my room left over, and I promise that I will take it tonight." And Marion looks very skeptical, and she says, "You promise you'll take it tonight? You better promise on something more important than just nothing, because I don't believe you." And Susanna says, "I swear, Mama, I swear that I will take that sleeping tonic. You can even make Vice swear he takes those promises very seriously. He'll make me take the sleeping tonic, and it'll be fine, and you don't need to worry, and you don't need to go fetch another one from Mr. Mackenzie, and you don't need to come over again, and it's fine."
Bias puts a hand on his heart and he says, "On my word."
Now, tell me, Vias, are you lying?
He's not lying about on his word. He didn't say on his honor or anything.
All
Just
right.
on his word.
All right. So,
You
can you
take
make
that-
me some kind of persuasion check,
Alright, what is this?
if you'd
persuasion?
like?
Persuasion. He has a +6 to persuasion. Alright. I guess I can use Dice Roller. Does my good graces with Marion give me any bonuses?
Yeah, you know what? Take advantage. She likes you. You've done a good job of responding to her small talk.
19.
19. That'll barely do it, but that'll do it from Marion Crow. So,
Yeah.
like, 1 point. You were 1 point there. She seems satisfied by this and decides to believe that Susanna will take her sleeping tonic. And
Bryce is a
Liza,
respectable lad.
Liza has fetched tea, more tea, and is distributing it again. And as soon as, she passes it out very quickly to get this job over with as done as possible, and she seems to be eyeing the teacups with suspicion. She's eyeing Mercy with suspicion. She keeps eyeing the hallway with suspicion. Liza seems deeply put off by the entire area around her.
That's
Talia is now just vibing in their room, very proud of themselves.
They should be proud of themselves. God, that was beautiful.
They're still not sure why the "it" comment made them upset, but now they've gotten revenge.
Blessed content.
man. I wish there was a spell I could do to fuck with her more.
That's all right. You guys have fucked with her just enough.
Yeah. Again, the tea remains mercifully undisturbed.
You've had your fun.
That's good. Susanna occasionally seems to glance at her tea, at Liza's tea. She's just checking. She's just making sure she isn't missing anything fun.
Diana does try to at some point catch her eye, ideally without getting anyone else notice, and just a little shake of the head.
Okay.
Just trying to, nah, I'm not doing any bullshit.
That's fair. That's fair. Cynthia eventually, stops talking about how wonderful and adorable and talented her little kids are. Eventually. It takes a long time. But she's just seems so genuinely happy to be talking to new people about her children.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, Diana knew what she was signing up for when she got this woman talking about her kids.
Yeah, that was you fell into a trap that you were aware of. And so eventually Josh wants to eat some dice. That is
Josh, don't eat dice.
God, Josh.
Child.
Josh. Lena's getting dressed. Lena is getting dressed
You're
up.
faithful.
Nice. All right. And there's sort of a rotation. Because now Marion Crow seems to be interested in talking to Diona. Cynthia will come over and chat with Vias a little bit. And Liza Crow is still not participating in conversation. She is, she would have been bothering Susanna more, but unfortunately, she's a little distracted. And so Marion comes over to Diona, and she's talking, and she's like, so now tell me a little bit more about where you're from, and how are you liking the town? I saw you this morning, got to see some of the sights.
It's a pleasant enough town. I'm much more used to towns on the coast. They have a bit of a different atmosphere, as people tend to travel through more often.
Of course. I'm sure you've met all manner of strange folk on your journeys.
Diona's going to toss out a couple of names. Towns primarily on the western coast.
Mhm.
I do actually have some of these names for my own DMing, but I can't find them at the moment. So
That's okay.
you're just gonna have to believe me that I have some of these names.
It's okay because Marion Crow doesn't recognize these names anyway. 'Cause she doesn't know shit about geography. Marion Crow is like me in that she does not know shit about geography.
Yeah, it's mentioning a lot of coastal towns. It's mentioning that she's got a cousin who's a very reputable blacksmith, and naming another town. Lots of indulging in small talk and details that don't matter.
Right. And she'll sort of
so,
respond in
I've got
kind.
extended family over most of the coastal part of the continent. I've got she spends some time particularly talking up Lumaz. Because Lumaz is a figure that they know about. So.
Right. And at that she will say, well, you know, my youngest Devin, he's often out and about towards Western, and, you know, he's never mentioned it, but I'm sure he would. He's probably seen it. He just doesn't tell his old mother everything, you know? Lena, would you like to make a stealth check for me? Because I'm a bastard. Make a stealth check anyway.
I hope you know that the point of I'm a cannibal, no one will ever believe you is because it is true, but just too ridiculous for even Liza Crow to make that a foothold in Corwick.
Yep. I'm a cannibal, but no one will ever believe. God, Talia has so much bastard juice flowing through their veins. Lena, that was incredible. That was fucking beautiful. You slide on through that dining room, or that living room, rather. Slide on through that living room, and you don't even think anybody notices that you're there. They just don't acknowledge you. You just sort of walk on out, and you're like, holy shit, did that actually happen? Did I actually get out successfully? And you did. Congratulations.
Round of applause for a stealth check. Well done.
Yep. Good job. Marion is also talking up various people and, you know, folks around Corwick, just because she knows you haven't met a ton of people, and she's giving you names and relatives of such and such who do this and that, and etc.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll meet them all at the celebration tomorrow. Of course, you'll be coming to the celebration now, won't you?
Yes, I'm certainly planning on coming to the celebration. Again, Uncle's vows prohibit them from attending certain events. We'll have to see.
Yes, I'd heard that from dear Mrs. Tucker. Well, it would be such a shame if they were unable to join us, but I'm sure that it would be, you know, we wouldn't want to cause any trouble with vows. And at this, Liza Crow perks up and is looking, like, alarmed at this conversation. She's like, she comes over and she joins in, and she's like, well, yes, of course we wouldn't want them to break their vows or come in any risk of that, so, you know, I'm sure it will be perfectly fine if they don't want to come to the celebration. And Marion seemed a little bit...
How does Marion respond to this?
Marion looks kind of annoyed by this, actually. She seems like, hey, that's not the script. Why are you discouraging the guest from coming to the celebration? The celebration is good. Like, she seems annoyed by Liza. But she seemed a little bit annoyed with Liza basically every time you've seen her and Liza together. So it's not that different.
It's a different type.
Are you threatening? Are you fucking threatening to eat them while they're, undead?
No, I'm just saying from Liza's point of view, it might be slightly a threat.
God, it fucking might be, wouldn't it? Good lord. Eventually, you all...
Yeah, Diana very much participates in a lot of the conversation, but it's, again, much like Vias, not sharing anything of actual value, but it's a lot of, names of towns and names of some of her cousins, and...
Right.
I will possibly give you some canon cousins.
I love that.
I definitely know she mentioned her cousin Isaac.
Cool.
Who was the blacksmith.
Love that. We love blacksmiths.
She goes through a few of her cousins. I feel like if Bias is listening, he didn't know that Diana considers in Diana's entire family as adopted, he'd be kind of going, "What the fuck? That's too many cousins."
Too many cousins.
Too many cousins? Vias has a couple of uncles and aunts, and they have 5 children each. So.
So. Eventually, it's almost dinner time.
At some point, Diana does kind of pause and have a sniff at the end. That, unfortunately, smells like the roast is ready. I will need to check the timer, but I might have enough to feed 3 people, but I'm not sure. I'm very sorry. I didn't entirely realize we'd have company.
Cynthia will jump in at this and say, "Oh, well, of course we won't be staying. No, we've got dinner arrangements back at the nest, so don't worry a thing about feeding us all." And Marion seems a little bit annoyed by that too, but understanding this time rather than confused. And so Cynthia effectively drags the whole group out, wrangles them with her tiny little hands, and says, "I hope we'll be seeing most of you at the celebration tomorrow, and yes."
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
And Liza says nothing. Doesn't even say goodbye. Marion gives her own pleasantries. She hugs and kisses Susanna. She says, "Now you're going to take that tonic now." And Susanna says, "Yes, Mama."
Now, I do have a question. I know what the answer probably is, but I have a question. Is there any mud near Susanna's door?
Outside the door?
Yes.
Since it has not rained recently, I'm going to go with a no.
Okay, that's fair. And if there was, I was going to ask if it had a high enough water content for...
Track mud on her dress.
Alright, Amy. Yes. DM me and we will get the cool Corwick tea about stuff. Good night.
Oh.
The cool Corwick tea about stuff. That is a fucking phrase. So...
who was the woman who wrangled all the people again? What was her name?
Cynthia.
That would be... and you've seen from Diana's cue that she's much more legitimate, pleasant conversation with.
Yeah, I mean, when she leaves, Vias says, "I like Cynthia."
I like Cynthia too.
Cynthia's lovely.
You know, Mercy, that was actually a very funny thing you did with the tea. And she just kind of bows her head and fluffs up her feathers a little bit.
Susanna will say, yeah, she didn't like that. And she went off to sort herself out, and she seemed even less sorted out when she got back. So I don't know what happened there, but she was not herself.
Yeah, that was a little strange.
I mean,
Tully's having a conversation with Vera, and then we'll probably illuminate you all.
Yeah.
But
at the moment, we're just...
Talia is partway through a conversation with Vera, and then just suddenly knife cat as they heal.
Yeah. Very,
Knife cat?
Sarah suddenly, they just kind of like start grinning.
Oops.
Susanna. What was Susanna gonna do? Susanna was gonna turn to Vias and say, Vias, I'm not taking a sleeping tonic.
Oh, hell no. That was actually on my word, and my word is shit. So, we don't swear on words because the words are sometimes meaningless, and they can be changed in every different language and mean anything and nothing, so...
That's a great trick. You want to know my trick? I swear on my grave, because it don't mean anything, because it's empty.
Yeah,
it won't be at the end, but you know.
Not that grave. I'm swearing on a very specific grave. Anyway.
You don't want to be buried in Corwick?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean...
No, sorry, that was a bad question.
Well, just compared to, like... I feel like I'm more likely to die outside of Corwick, and I hope you wouldn't be dragging my body all the way back here just to bury it, because that would probably not do so good.
You know, I think we would rather not bury you here. Like, ever,
yeah, I just for convenience purposes. Like, if I was gonna die here, then of course I'd be buried here. But I feel like, we fought a dragon that one time, and that, I feel like if we keep doing stuff like that, we're gonna die. So I probably won't die in Corwick, is all I'm saying. That's just I don't know.
I don't know. That's...
Would you rather die fighting a dragon than here in Corwick?
Well, it would be more exciting, I think, just based on previous experiences of, being on my deathbed in Corwick and being fighting a dragon elsewhere. I think the dragon was significantly more exciting.
I think I would rather prefer that too. I would hate to see you. Yeah. I'd rather be with people I care about than,
Well, I mean, there's plenty of people I care about here, but it would just be more fun, and isn't fun what it's all about?
I don't know if that's a good metric.
I don't know if anything is a good metric. Yeah, probably Talia wouldn't be hype based on what you just received. Sorry.
Blessings unto you.
Sorry about that information.
The all fucking caps. Like, I thought initially you were doing it by accident. No.
Yeah. So, that's that content.
Diana is actually going to go get dinner, and now, admittedly, she did say she actually gave the "Hey, dinner will be ready soon" about 20 minutes early.
Bless her.
Yes.
So we've got a little bit to vibe before she does food, or apparently freak the fuck out.
Talia has gone from, yes, I did a good thing, to fuck.
So yeah.
God. Yeah. So, Susanna's, clearing up whatever teacups got mixed up in the mess and clearing those.
Bias would definitely help out with that too.
Gemma hasn't been rain, or I would have splashed Liza with some mud as she walked out.
Oh my goodness! If you guys, I have never seen her look like that. Bless her dear, sweet little heart. Oh my goodness!
It's sweet.
Talia will then hop off their bed and head outside to the living room. And trying to push down the "oh fuck," just says out loud to everyone, so, Liza was a little off today, huh?
Yeah, she looked like she'd seen a ghost. Well, she looked worse than if she'd seen a ghost.
Talia has knife cat again.
Talia, what did you do? Oh my god, what did you do?
I just gave her a little hug. That's all. just a hug.
First of all, you gave her a hug? Okay.
I gave her a hug. And then I told her that I eat people. And that no one would believe her, she said it. And then I walked away.
Via spits out some leftover tea he had stolen.
Yeah, I think Diona actually ends up just I'm gonna do her perception check just to see if she actually notices Vera when she's distracted by
Susanna's face, like her jaw drops and it stays that way, and she is just staring at you. Like in her eyes, there is shock and awe. On her face, there is just complete. She's
Do you
just
have a roll open at the moment?
I do.
Okay,
stunned.
can you roll a perception check, please?
I may.
She is
Diona?
stunned.
Crap. Perception. I know it's-
Josh.
Josh?
My computer won't.
So that's a 24, so she does actually, after the initial sort of half spit take,
What was that, Josh?
does make eye contact with Vera and does just, okay, out.
Hi, Josh.
Hey, Josh! You missed some drama.
Oh my god. You're still. Oh my gosh. There's still drama to be had. Don't worry, y'all.
Exciting.
Talia just goes, I gave her a fact about myself, and that's it.
I cannot get push talk to work. It won't let me find it.
Oh, well.
Rip. So yeah,
That's
Diana's gonna head to the empty room to have the talk with Vera.
All right. Vera giving the kids the talk. She
One
never
at a
thought she'd have to
time.
do this again. Susanna eventually will make her face function, and she will say, Talia, that you told her that you eat people and that no one would ever believe you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Talia, you are a genius. I don't have... What? Look, no. The hair yogurt was one thing. That was one thing. That was physically... Oh my goodness. But that is why she looked so... Oh my gosh. I thought she was going to faint, and Liza never faints. Oh.
Talia shrugs.
That is beautiful.
That is
Oh,
the mental
bless-
manipulation my sisters use.
Bless her dear little heart. That is fantastic. She's never going to want to look at you again. She's going to be so scared. Yes. Oh, yes.
Talia is just fucking eating this up.
Oh my
Talia
God.
is so fucking
Oh my
happy.
If you're here with me, she's not going to want to come and bother me. Yes. I'm so happy, Talia. You have no idea. That
Just the knife cat.
knife cat just full. I can imagine the expression. Well, that's fantastic. I have no words.
Thank you.
The level of chaos in this group is amazing.
This was it's psychologically, because first of all, she was terrified that her tea was going to start acting up again. She kept looking at her teacups all sideways like it was going to jump at her, which was already amazing. Then Mercy creeped her out by talking at her as a raven, which, I needn't even tell you how bothersome that was. And then you hit her with that final sucker punch. Lord. Today, I don't remember what else happened today, but I know that today is a good day just for that.
She was mean to me, and so I,
Yeah. No, that is perfect. I'm so sorry that she was mean to you, but I'm kind of glad that you had this chance for incredible retaliation. I am amazed.
I think Talia just has an internal moment of like how proud like Ruan would be of them right now.
Aw.
But is also just whole ass eating this up as a distraction from the fuck.
This is good content. Susanna tonight will sort out. She'll get the big table set up for dinner again tonight. Because, you know, people sitting at the table. And, you know, set that up, fold out the little leaves, put the fresh tablecloth on there, set the table. She'll make Vias help her set the table.
Vias will do so. He's a good gentleman.
She said so. If Dylan comes out of his room where he's been lurking, she'll make Dylan help set the table too. Everybody helps, except for Talia, who has created like the best day in the universe and therefore does not have to do anything ever again.
Is it fancy table setting?
It's not fancy table setting. It is
Okay, thank God.
knife, fork.
Excellent.
Fife,
Dylan
and
doesn't
fork.
know what a salad fork is.
We've had this conversation, in fact.
Have we? I've forgotten.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
in
have.
character. Susanna had like a mental breakdown about salad forks because
Still-
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Dylan
set a
ever
table
eaten
properly,
a
but
salad?
Susanna does.
I used to know, and now I don't remember anymore.
Are
Thanks,
y'all glad?
Fleece
Yeah!
Oh, did
Joe
Joe
is
just read the
not
thing?
happy.
Did Joe just read the thing?
Yes.
Ha!
I love the fact that it took Papa a solid couple of seconds to realize.
Aren't y'all glad you got to the point that Talia's willing to be their bastard self?
God, Talia's
love
bastard
them.
self is such a
Same.
fucking gift. I love it. I love them so much. It's so good. My love for Talia and their bastard self grows more with every passing day. Since Diona is having a whole little moment with Vera there, you know, Suzanne, like, the food is probably fine because you had a 20-minute window, but Susanna's like checking on the food, making sure that nothing burns.
Yeah.
And Dylan, you've been vibing with Marcus for a few hours and playing Go Fish. How have you been?
Has Marcus been winning?
Marcus has been winning, in fact.
Marcus has been eating some of the cards.
That's how
So
you win.
now it has become far more difficult to win Go Fish because instead of 52 cards, there's now about 45.
Oh my god, the spurs!
Yes.
Susanna's gonna be pissed off because those were hers.
Those are Susanna's cards, and that is fantastic.
Well, see, Dylan can't stop his bird.
Right. He has no control.
I mean,
Marcus will do what Marcus will do.
Marcus does what Marcus does, and while Dylan could control it if he wanted to, it's an uphill battle.
Someone tell Talia of this development. I just had the most blessed idea.
Marcus ate the cards.
Does Dylan come out and is like, Susanna, Marcus ate the cards, or? I think Susanna's in such a good mood she wouldn't even be mad that her cards got eaten.
Will you relinquish the card set?
Yes.
Marcus continues to eat the cards at a faster pace.
Bastard!
And I'm not talking shredding. These cards are disappearing.
He just swallows
So
them
he's
whole like
just-
a piece of cheese.
I'm just picturing that he's sitting on the kitchen counter. There's a deck of cards sitting on the counter. Marcus is just going to town. Marcus doesn't need to eat.
No. But he can. I think. I don't know. Let me
No,
look.
he can. I think he
With an
can.
acting like he can.
I mean,
What
he can as far as
can?
I'm concerned because he's eating playing cards right now.
They don't need to, but they can.
I'm imagining that just like shards of playing cards are just appearing in like whatever plane the Raven Queen is in, like next to
God.
her, and just at him being like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yes,
You're giving the Raven Queen something to do.
that is exactly what's happening. It's canon.
Marcus is just a cat that accidentally is a bird.
Yes. Why is he eating them, do you think?
What?
Why is he eating them?
Does he have pica?
I don't listen. I think I know my bird. I mean, he just kind of sits here. He's his own person. Maybe he might be a person. I actually have no idea what he is. He's just a bird. Marcus is enthusiastically eating the playing card.
Okay, I mean, there's no nutritional value there.
I don't think that matters. You know
Okay.
when you eat like a leaf? I think it's like that.
No, I don't know what it's like to eat a leaf. Do you eat
You
leaves?
ever been a child and you look at like, something on the ground and you're like going to eat that? Wait, no, you were raised like sophisticated. So like you probably were discouraged from eating leaves.
I was not.
Maybe that's why.
I was
Maybe
not.
that's why you're like these.
What the
You
heck,
didn't-
Dylan?
You didn't eat enough leaves as a child.
Dylan. First of all, I was not raised sophisticated. I just didn't eat leaves. I ate bugs sometimes, but not like on a
Yes,
regular
bugs.
basis. Just some, little bugs, but never leaves and never like dirt or anything.
What kinds of bugs?
Like little ants. My sister ate a worm once. I tried to stop her, but yeah.
I have also eaten a worm. They're not that bad. They just are kind of wiggly.
Eleanor
you
was
ever-
too young to like describe the feeling. I was sure that she was gonna die from worm poisoning when I couldn't stop her from eating the worm. So I was very concerned for a few hours.
The more brightly colored the bug or thing on the ground, the more likely it is to kill you. So you stick to like neutral colors.
Well, I don't think I'll be needing that knowledge right now necessarily, but I do appreciate you letting me know.
Maybe once you get your bird self back, you'll want to eat the bugs again.
Oh Lord, I hope not. I hope not.
You're missing out.
Oh, also, I forgot that the mockingbird has been here this whole time. The mockingbird has been with Talia
Good.
because that it's just been perched on your shoulder. And when you left, when the company was coming, it just hopped onto your shoulder and was like, "Yep, with you."
So then the bird probably witnessed.
Oh my God, the bird witnessed it, so Susanna's gonna get to see it. Yes.
Good.
Yes. I am so happy. Yes. Okay, good. Good content. Anyway, if Talia is out in the dining room, living room, kitchen, that's the word. I forgot what houses were. With this conversation, Susanna will turn to the mockingbird and say, "Do you eat bugs?" Mockingbird does a double tap. Thank goodness.
You missing out.
I don't think not eating bugs is missing out. I think that's just missing something that doesn't need to be like it's not a vital part of life eating bugs, so it can't really
Talia in the
truly be
room?
missed.
Is Talia in the room?
Yes.
Dylan
He's
looks like
talking about his
Talia.
vegetarians at the moment.
Bugs, Talia. Well, have you ever?
It's not an unknown part of my diet in the past.
Do they have? Okay, are the bugs?
What'd you say?
Are the bugs bigger? Like, do they go?
There are some that glow. There are some that are bigger. There are some that are a lot bigger.
Well, I don't like that.
Can you eat those though?
What was that last thing you said?
Can you eat those though?
You can. You have to remove the venom first, but you can eat them.
Yeah, that gets in the way.
There are also some that are smaller. They're very, very small. Those are also very dangerous.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. You think like the big things are dangerous, but have you ever like seen a big dog and they're just like super friendly, and then you see a small dog and they want to kill you?
I've seen one dog.
What's that?
And it's Morgan.
dog?
It was Morgan.
Oh,
Who's our big dog.
He's a big dog. Big dogs. Okay, so here is advice for when you meet dogs. Little dogs are more aggressive, and they only like certain people. Big dogs, however, well, just in general, sometimes people make big dogs be like little dogs, and that's rude. But like the big dogs, they will just be like, "Hello, you are my friend. I'm going to lick your face."
They are the biggest softies.
Have you ever seen?
Talia nods and is picturing a dog the size of a house.
You know what? Yeah, I wish there was dogs that size.
Clifford the Big Red
I
Dog
was
D&D
literally gonna
homebrew
say.
when?
Oh my god, please. Behemoth dog.
Chunky dog.
Big Chungus.
Is this a dog with Talia?
Oh my god.
Are Vera and Diona still having like a chat?
They're having a bit of a conversation, but I think Diana does reemerge soon. She went pale, and anyone who's looking can possibly see her rubbing at the Snapdragon tattoo.
Oh, that's concerning.
And I think, where's Vinali at?
Also with Talia, probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Charles, can I borrow Vinali?
Oi, and they will hand over the cat.
Yeah.
Talia has effectively 2 animal companions right now.
Diana buries her hands in Vinali's fur and deep breaths and tries to drag herself back into.
Vias looks concerned, TM.
Again, Vias gets a little bit of eye contact and slight shake of the head.
Susanna doesn't
He
notice
frowns.
because Susanna's blind as a fucking bat, apparently.
He frowns at you, but he's not gonna say anything yet. He's probably gonna hover. Because now he's curious what's going on. You disappear for like 10 minutes.
Dinner is lovely. There's some slight underlying tension, perhaps, from about half the table.
As 3 of us are freaking the fuck out, and the others are just like, what?
I think if you continue on the track of like big things, little things, Talia is like, yeah, you know where I come from. There are these like big butterflies, and you're like, how big? And they're like, you know, bigger than like trees and things.
Okay, those are some big butterflies.
Are they carnivorous?
Oi.
What?
Oh,
Hell
dear
yeah!
God.
No. What's carnivorous giant butterflies the size of trees?
Ah.
I
They
am.
eat people.
What was that, PK?
They eat people. They eat people.
I can't hear what you're saying, Josh.
Do they eat people?
Do the butterflies eat people?
I mean, We were never like their favorite prey, but they would sometimes.
Oh my god.
So it's like one of those where it's like, you know, they're not going to hunt you, but if one of you is, say, has no legs.
I mean, but, you know.
I mean, that sounds like I'm saying that you would leave behind people who have no legs. I don't think you would do that. However, it is harder to run when you don't have legs.
Not necessarily, you know, we weren't in the habit of just leaving people behind to leave people behind, but, you know.
You would eat them.
Worst comes to worst.
Sarah, to give a bit of a timeline, Donna shooed out the crows about 20 minutes before dinner was... I assume that the freaking the fuck out took about half an hour?
Lena left sort of mid-crow conversation. It's probably been about 2 hours. Maybe slightly less. I don't know how time works, so...
Vias is just kind of eyeing the people who have been, like, tense suspicion. He's like, what is going on?
Susanna's mind is entirely focused on Liza Crow.
If Lena's not back yet, I think Donna's sort of gonna check didn't you say there are multiple clocks?
There are multiple clocks. There are many, many clocks. In fact, there's one in the dining room, one in the kitchen, 2 in the living room, and one in every guest room, and many in Susanna's room. So there's a fuck ton of clocks in this house.
Yeah, Donna's gonna check the time and... we should probably go collect Lena. Make sure she hasn't gotten waylaid into a whole lot of nice conversation.
Oh yeah, the people at the temple are, you know, everyone here will get you caught in a conversation you don't like if you try hard enough.
And we've established that Lena doesn't like polite company.
Poor thing.
I don't think Lena likes company.
She likes us.
Lena likes friends. Well, we're not company, we're friends. We'll be friends.
Well...
Good God, my Dylan voice is all over the place.
It's all good.
That is okay. That is so okay.
I'm picturing these things. Dark Souls.
Yeah, that tracks.
Alright, do you guys head out to go rescue Lena from her?
Yeah. Is Talia coming with, or just...
I mean, Talia agreed to go rescue Lena if necessary, so
Yeah.
Alright. We are left with Vias and Dylan and Susanna at the house, and you guys march on out.
Vias, to the rest of you guys, looks at Susanna and Dylan and says, what the hell is going on?
Is there something going on?
I don't know, they seem suspicious for some reason.
I've been a little bit
I'm getting
distracted by the
bad
talk of
vibes.
carnivorous butterflies.
That, but, I don't know.
Well, it would not be the first time people have been nervous about being here, so maybe they're just remembering that they don't like this place. I don't know.
Vias just kind of like nods slowly, but it seems like he's still thinking about it. Like, what possibly could have set them off?
Could everybody who's leaving the house make a perception check for me, please?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
This first one will be Diana, because her sheet's up right now.
Good to know.
Nice. Oh,
Nice.
shit.
23? And...
That first one's 24 and the second is 23.
Talia's.
No, the first one's old. I can roll for Vera, yeah.
Talia also rolled a 22.
That's
Nice.
very great of them. Let me just roll for Vera real quick, because that is important for Vera. Perception.
Oh boy. Yeah, PK, I will send you a screenshot of Diana's conversation with...
Damn.
Okay, good.
There.
So everybody did a good job. The people who are wandering out to. So you
Yeah,
leave
Marcus
the house.
tap on the shoulder, and there are 11 cards on the table.
Oh my god,
Marcus?
Marcus. Oh my god. So everybody outside. You leave Susanna's house, and something compels all of you to turn around and glance back at it. And on the little awning over the nice front porch that she has, there's probably 24 crows just sitting there, looking, watching you guys.
Can Diana get a rock?
Yeah, she can get a rock.
Because I think she's gonna try and toss it to try and spook them off. She knows it probably won't work, but it might help her feel better.
Yeah, go ahead. You can get a rock, make a, I don't know, improvised weapon attack. I don't know how D&D works.
You know
so-
that thing that Diana is spectacularly good
Yeah,
at?
that thing that Diana can do. She should do that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna roll this as a beat stick, because that's what I refer to all of her improvised weapons as.
That works. Cool. Yep.
19.
19. All right. So you throw it. It hits a crow in the face.
Do you want me to roll damage?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll damage. Vias, could you make an animal handling check to try and get the cards away from Marcus?
I can do that thing, yes.
6 points of damage as
Marcus
Diana
roll-
picks up a rock and just overhand tosses it.
All right.
Marcus roll to keep the cards.
Yes, roll whatever you
15.
want to keep the cards. Probably some sort of dexterity check. I don't know, or an anger check if that's possible. Diona, you hurl that rock and you chuck it, and it hits a crow right in the head, and it slides off the roof and lands on the ground, seemingly dead. And the others sort of scatter around where the rock hit for a minute, and then settle back on the roof.
Yeah. She is gonna bounce on the whisper ring just very quietly.
Are you cutting anyone out of the message?
Susanna's not wearing the ring, so Susanna gets cut out.
Okay.
Automatically.
I think she just sends in lots of crows on the roof.
All right, so Dylan and Bias, you both hear that message that there are lots of crows on the roof.
Does it matter where you wear the ring?
What was that?
Like for the message ring, you just have to wear it. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter
Yeah.
where.
Yes.
Oh
don't
no,
like
I
where
was
that's
just thinking about like, which finger Dylan's gonna put on.
Oh,
it. He has
okay.
it on his thumb. What the hell were you thinking?
I don't know. I totally
I don't know if I was
forgot.
concerned. Yes, it does not matter which ring it is on, which finger it is on.
It is on his right thumb. Basically, as much as he can make it not look like a wedding ring, that's where he places the ring.
That's
on his
very, very non-wedding ring of him. The
So-
thumb ring.
I misspelled squawks.
I'll
I
give you
mean,
some-
my dyslexia made it look like squawks, so...
I need AFK for a very brief second. I will be back.
Question, the birds,
Yeah.
are they on the roof? Is that what
They-
was told? What?
Yeah, it's. Diona said there are lots of crows on the roof. That is what she said.
Vi squints his eyes and says, like, turns to Dylan and is like, should they go wild shape and try and spook them?
I think the crows do not care
I
about
mean,
anything that we could possibly do.
I could
I
just...
We could get rid of them.
Susanna's looking at you both kind of strangely, like, okay, did I miss something?
Vias kind of
And I
points to the
can see
ring,
crows.
and he says, Diana saw a bunch of birds on your roof. Like a lot
Oh.
of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, also, that's an important thing to note. The Mockingbird did not go with Talia this time. The Mockingbird stayed in Susanna's house.
Okay.
How many
Yeah,
of the crows are juicy?
Hmm?
How many of the crows are juicy?
If you go and you do a juicy check, a vibe check on the crows with your eyes,
We'll accidentally hit performance. So
well,
Perform for the crows.
I didn't want to hit that either.
okay. Take your time,
Why
buddy.
did it happen again?
Take
No.
take a minute.
Would you say a cat has a climb speed?
Yeah, sure, fuck it.
Okay. Vice.
Okay,
said
what has climb speed?
A cat, like.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it does.
You got a
Tabaxi has climb
25.
speed, so yeah.
You got a 25 on your perception. Are you doing any scanning, like any magical scanning, or just perception-wise trying to see how many of the crows are juicy?
And he's just looking at the crows and trying to see if they're juicy. Dylan
All right.
forgets that he can endlessly cast detect magic.
So you go out, I assume you go out a little ways off the porch and look back up at them to see. And you see there's about 24 of them on the roof. And looking at all of them, sort of trying to scan and see which ones have like blood or wounds or tell all of these ones, every single one that you look at seems to be very juicy.
They are all juicy.
They are all juicy.
So I'm sure the one that Diona.
And in fact, yeah, this is the other thing that you see, Dylan, is you see a dead one off to the side of the porch where it was knocked off the roof that starts twitching and moving, and then it gets up and flies back up and lands on the roof.
Okay. So before the bird gets back up on the roof,
Mm-hmm.
Marcus just takes off at it
Okay.
and attacks it.
Okay.
Marcus is going to attempt to tear this bird apart.
Yes.
Okay. Make your fucking attack for Marcus.
While this is going on,
Boy,
sorry, I'll type
17.
Yeah.
So it only does 1 damage.
Well,
However, Diona did brain the damn thing.
these are both true facts. So let me just check something real quick.
However, Marcus is not aiming for death. Marcus is aiming for, you know, when you like do pulled pork, that.
Okay.
Oh!
Shred him.
Marcus does that to this bird. That
Marcus
is
succeeds.
Marcus succeeds. That bird is shredded. It is demolished. It is annihilated. Well, bad.
Marcus back to Dylan's shoulder and preens his feathers.
Okay. So, all of the crows on the roof were unnaturally still throughout this. And you remember the birds sort of chaotically fighting each other in Raven's grave, and and you remember Marcus getting pecked to death at Raven's grave, and you feel like maybe these birds shouldn't be just sitting there completely motionless, but that's what they're doing. Okay. Bias opens the window, turns into a cat, climbs up onto the roof. Susanna does as you ask.
Mercy is staying inside with Susanna, by the way.
All right. Make a perception check for Mercy, by the way.
Sure. Oh yeah, she's a pro.
And yeah, okay. And also make your attack rolls as a cat to go for some. There are 24. Well, there's 24 minus 1 up here. All of them quite juicy.
Oh, come on, Raven stats. Actually, wait, isn't it right here? Nope. I don't have it. Just have luck. my god, why is the internet being fucky?
The internet hates you.
It does.
So the folks who are marching on their way to the temple, I assume
Any of the crows peel off to try and follow us?
they do
Perception
not.
is +3.
Okay.
Interesting, and you don't notice any crows acting strange or different than normal on your way to the
Ooh.
temple.
Good job, Mercy. That's a
I have
19
a
for Mercy.
Question before we move on to town center or wherever we're going. What happened? What is the bird that Marcus just kind of obliterated? Is it moving?
Nope, you have pulled it apart in a way that it doesn't seem like any kind of magic can hold it together again.
Excellent.
I was looking for. All right.
It is just, yep, it is a crow pie. All right.
So we can do that. Okay.
So that's
Good
something.
to know.
Vias, attack the fucking
Yep.
crows. I guess if that's what you're gonna do.
Can he attempt a pounce?
Sure.
Hold on. I'll show you the thing.
Hold on.
Because it would also let him bite them too.
Why would you want to?
So he can tear them apart.
Yes, but that sounds like the worst bad mouthfeel.
Yep. Oh god. That's stupid. Okay, well, I'll just, let's see. What's him got? Nope, that's not what I want.
And Dylan, from your perspective, Marcus just very, very effectively shredded that crow, and then you're about to maybe go back inside, and then you see a cat climb up onto the roof. So that's what Dylan is seeing.
He doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, Susanna doesn't either, and Susanna's starting to get worried. So that's good.
Alright, I'll roll my thingy thing. Hold on. That's a +5 to hit. Actually, what would my... I don't know what my proficiency would be with this.
I don't know how D&D works, so...
Maybe it's already added? I can't tell.
Probably already added.
+5 is good enough. 21 to hit.
Do I make a
21 will hit
I will
these
do my
lads, so roll your damage.
1d. And this is a claw, so it's 1d8 plus 3. 6 damage.
6 damage. Alright, so you claw. Well, here's your choice, Vias, actually. You can either claw 6 of them very efficiently, or you can shred 3 of them less efficiently.
Shred 3.
Okay. There's still like 20 crows left.
That's alright.
Alright. And again, it's weird because you sort of brace yourself to be attacked. And they just keep sitting there, watching you, and not moving.
Are there any crows heading in our direction?
What was you had a good perception check from earlier. You looking around, you don't see any crows from over in Ravensgrave. They all seem to be acting perfectly normal. All the crows from down the street, like, none of them seem to be doing anything out of the ordinary as far as ordinary goes with these crows, except for the ones on Susanna's roof.
Yeah, Vice is just gonna keep killing them.
Alright, keep going for it.
Hell yeah.
Marcus
Probably
is
a bad
content
idea.
with his one conquest.
Alright, probably for the best. Marcus did get pecked to death by crows not that long ago. That still hits.
Dylan is far more bothered by that than Marcus.
Marcus doesn't even give a shit. Marcus is vibing.
9.
So the path back to the temple is still pretty much entirely chill. No crows. Well, crows sort of up in the air, but none of them watching you. Makes you uncomfortable. But you guys make it to the temple. Lena is there in some sort of a state, which will be detailed further after Amy and I talk about what she's found out. And you guys, if there's anything you folks would like to ask the temple people, you can do so now, or you can just sort of yoink Lena out quickly and efficiently.
Dana is going to want to ask if... I'm sure we got his name. The guy who wrote the journal. Is still around, or if he died?
Mr. Madison, you hear that unfortunately he died about, and this is actually information that Lena could have given you, so I will give this to you as just having known it. Mr. Madison died about a year and a half ago, and there's been some sort of chaos in the temple because there was nobody really set to take his place. No, I'll let Lena tell you that if she knows it. Well, she does know it. I'll let Lena tell you the next bit if she chooses later.
Okay.
Talia would actually want to wander out to the graveyard and find Susanna's grave.
Cool. All right. You make a perception check. Investigation check.
It's Diana's sheet.
Yes.
You do.
All right. So it's a little bit of a struggle. Maybe somebody could help you with that, so you could roll with advantage. Yes, do an insight check.
Well, Dana didn't actually go, so I think Dana will help if only to find the...
Yeah. So, roll again, Talia. And Vera, insight. That'll do it. It's pretty easy to find. You follow. There are a lot of graves. Like, the family names seem to be grouped together. So once you find, like, Rowena Rosie Crow, you can easily follow the trail to find the other crows and go back. And eventually you find Susanna Rigby Crow. No, her grave says Susanna May Crow, I'm sorry. And the grave right next to it, Ibis Crow.
Talia is going to look at it, pull out their, like, bag of salt, and, like, salt the earth around her grave.
Diana's gonna spit on Ibis's grave.
Alright. Cool. Good to know.
She has no respect for Ibis's crow now.
Yeah, Talia's gonna salt Susanna's grave and then cover the salt with a little bit of dirt.
Alright. That is good to know. Let me see if this happened. Yes, it did. So, Mercy, remember how I made you roll a perception check?
Yes.
Okay, so Mercy, looking around, you notice that there isn't, like, a mockingbird in the building at all? Because, Talia, you see, perched on Susanna's grave, the mockingbird! Woo! It's there, even though it didn't come with you. Magic, haha.
Cool.
Dylan stayed at Susanna's house, I believe. Vera's insight check, their vibe is pretty much exactly as Lena described. Like, they seem super into Lena, they think she's really cool, and they sort of think you're cool by association. But they are very pushy, sort of over dramatic, very, very southern. Basically, like a bunch of overbearing Susannas, but they don't have guns. That's their vibe.
And it's probably a good thing they don't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
It's probably a good thing most people in this town don't have guns. So the mockingbird is on the grave, and it taps at you in a greeting, and you all are vibing.
Yeah. I think Dana's going to hello again and sort of offer her hand as a perch.
It will hop up onto your hand if you put it down low enough for it to do its little fluttery hop to get there.
Yeah.
And it chills. You guys, Lena has been successfully pulled from the temple, and she will tell you things that she doesn't know yet because, and that I don't know yet because I don't know what she'll be asking yet. So there will be some exchange of information that will happen. If that happens. It might happen later. It might happen with the whole party. I don't know what she wants to know, so I don't have any idea. And there are no crows in the graveyard. You notice that, of course, by the way. Just none.
Have
none
there
at
been
all.
any of the previous times that we know of?
Not as far as anybody noticed. Nobody has noticed a presence or absence of crows in the graveyard, and it's really only because you are paying specific attention to crows this time around, because there are some creepy crows at Susanna's house, that you are sort of noticing, there's no crows here, except for all the graves for the crows. And yeah, that is those vibes. Is Bias just going to town as a cat? I mean, I'm not going to make you roll for whole
he is going
process.
until there are no birds left, and he's kicking them off the roof. He plans yeah.
Do not fight back at all, which gets more than a little uncomfortable after a while.
And once they are all dead, he is going to transform back into a person, make his wings come out, and he's going to basically start burying them in the backyard.
All right. So said his wings are out.
Yep. So he can jump off
Burying
the
them in the
roof
backyard.
after
All right.
he's pushed them off the roof. So
Okay.
there's just dead birds, juicy dead birds falling from
Dead
the sky.
birds. You gather them up. As you guys walk back through town, the mockingbird does not go with you. It hops back off on the grave as you leave the graveyard. So that means something. And you all head back through, and Vera's throwing up her detect magic. You see the general good vibes of the temple. Oh wait, no, this is not divine sense. This is a different thing. Maybe you still see the vibes of the temple. You still see the good vibes of the temple, which are around and extend a little ways up the hill, sort of vaguely. Idle Hands is not super. It's not juicy because there's some runoff from the good juice of the temple near Idle Hands. So the farther you get from the temple, the graveyard, and Idle Hands, the more juicy it gets, just as normal. Are you looking at anything specific as you're walking back through town, or just the general? All right. So the houses are mostly fine. Yeah.
One very slight note before we leave the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Donna's going to give the bird a very gentle sort of pat down the neck feathers and on the outer edge of the good wing, and we'll get you back where you should be.
It taps at you. The houses. Specifically, I imagine you're turning your attention to that one house. The house that was a little juicy the first time. The person who was in that house being somewhat juicy. And yeah, you know what? Make a perception check to focus on the juice of that house specifically for vibes. House-specific vibe check.
I'm making Popka wiggle.
Nice.
Because I'm being gay.
That's gay of you.
Wiggle, wiggle.
Mm-hmm.
There's gay content happening.
It's very cute.
I can roll for you. Where is perception? Alright, 14. Let me Okay. You do not see any vibes from that house in particular. Not quite. So, you feel a little bit, you're not sure if you're settled by that or made more uneasy by that. And you head back to Susanna's house, where there's like blood all around the dirt around the porch. And Bias, you do know whose house that is. Because you asked Gertie about it. I just forgot to say it in a session. You do know whose house that is. That is Liza and Danny Crow's house.
Oh, I think you actually mentioned that before, so...
I mentioned it, just not during the recording because I fucked up. But that's Liza and Danny Crow's house. And you do not see anybody juicy inside at the moment, given my understanding of the spell. That is what Talia thinks.
Eating time.
It's eating time. So, you all make it back. There's blood and feathers and general bad action around. I assume, Dylan, are you helping Vias bury the crows, or did you go back in to hang out with Susanna?
Dylan goes in to hang out with Susanna.
Cool.
Yeah, Vias is just carrying armfuls of juicy dead birds and throwing them in a hole. Just
Dylan is not into that. Dylan is not into whatever's happening over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think Diana takes a look at this and just...
If you're looking at Vias, he just looks at you and says it had to be done.
No, it looks at the amount of blood on the house and just kind of... long sigh, and possibly... We really don't want people to see this.
Yeah, Talia nudges Diona and really, really soft just goes, "Can you do the water thing?"
I was about to. Bias, you nearly done?
They are all dead.
Yeah, you've probably cleared out the bodies sufficiently for Diona to get to the washing bit.
Yeah, Diana just, focuses a little and just basically tries to power wash with create water.
All right. You do.
Why is it raining?
Bias himself is like he's not wearing his white cloak or anything, but he is in his like black clothes, but there's like feathers stuck to him and his arms are covered in blood.
Oh, tasty.
Unfortunately, Vera has prestidigitation, so can clean Bias up.
Yes.
Feyre has it, right?
So
Diana, from the perspective of those in the house, there is a sudden, very heavy rain shower, and then it stops.
Now there is mud outside Susanna's door.
What the fuck?
Okay, that's weird.
Lyra's
Susanna will come outside because, frankly, she's been very patient with all this nonsense.
Why is there red mud? What did you do?
Okay. So, I'm looking at least 5 people who owe me some kind of an explanation.
It was Marcus.
An explanation that will happen inside.
Yes.
Bias will go inside.
Okay, good.
After thanking Feyre for cleaning him up.
Susanna looks a little bit nauseated at any remaining traces of blood and sort of reaches into one pocket and searches for a little bit and then pulls out her fan and starts fanning herself as she goes back inside.
Let's go back inside so that it's not...
Cool.
As soon as you're inside, Talia goes, "Well, I don't understand about 30% of what's going on, so I probably shouldn't be the one to talk."
It's okay, Talia.
Okay.
This is a lot of things. And, we need to be better at, like, telling you things, because I feel like... I mean, I forget, but that's also me, that, you know, you don't know everything about here. And so, you know, we need to do a better job at, you know, teaching you the important things that you need to know, because I feel like we just end up telling you, like, all of these, like, little things that don't matter, and not, like, the big things, like what a dog is.
It's just weird because
Talia kind of blinks at you and is shocked you put together such a coherent and insightful moment.
Wisdom 16, baby.
And
He's
Talia
so
just goes,
good.
"Thank you, Dylan."
We will do our best to do that.
That
They perch themselves on the arm of, like, an armchair.
It's just hard to kind of figure out what you don't know necessarily. So
all right.
And
Okay. I
you
hate
get
to interrupt
to
this moment, but
what
that
you
is
want.
not the point. That is not the point.
I mean, it can be the point. We can make it the point.
It can be the point. But I'm more stressed out about why there was blood all over my house. All right.
I killed a bunch
Talia's
of the
just gonna
crows.
sit. Talia's just gonna sit and vibe.
Yeah, I think for the blood all over the house, Donor just looks at Vias.
It had to be done.
Okay, but I don't like that. All right, because nope. But
When we left, there were a lot of the should-be dead crows on your roof. It looks like Vias took care of that.
Marcus helped.
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Well, he helped
I
one.
wanted to clean it up before morning because
Right.
They are buried. Sorry, it's in your backyard.
There's probably worse things buried in my backyard. Oh, and Susanna faints.
Oof. Oh no. Oh no.
I never
Get the
good
smelling
catch up.
salts.
Okay. She's good. Just give her a second. She'll vibe.
yeah, Diana goes to catch her. Just
I'm sure you catch
I
her.
think lays her out on the couch.
She's chilling.
Oh boy, we've done more things in this, but dang. Okay.
Okay. So Vera, do you want to help explain this, or should I just?
Does anybody use Susanna's smelling salts, or do you guys just wait on her to wake up naturally?
I think in this instance, wait, because that gives Diana a chance to fill everyone in on what the fuck is up
Okay.
and why the fuck we freaked the fuck out so much.
Okay.
So, Lena found some information from the temple. She got access to a journal about the last time a res was performed here, and it was bad.
Bad. Bad in what way?
Bad in the again. What was the name of the? Sorry, PK.
The name of... Sorry.
The
Mr.
person
Madison?
who wrote the journal,
Mr. Madison?
Mr. Madison.
The old Mr. Madison.
Bad in that Mr. Madison, the previous priest of the town, nearly got dragged with when he tried to do a res. The
Dragon
backlash
as in
killed him because of a lack of a divine barrier. At least that was his theory.
what?
does res mean?
Resurrection.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Wait, what do
Carry
you
on.
mean by dragged down? Like down to this?
He
Astral
talked
Sea?
about ghostly voices and a force pulling on him.
In fact, you all still have this journal unless Lena gave it back, but I'm going to say for the sake of simplicity, she didn't,
Yeah.
so I can paste this action into the main chat for good content.
Thank God, because I've been a nosy fucking bitch, and I'm like, tell me, God damn it!
Okay, first part. Second part.
What?
Uh-huh.
And let's go for a third part. Third part. Alright, that's all the parts. That's all the bad content. Okay, so somebody can maybe read it out loud to Dylan.
No, this is like Josh's.
Josh,
Dylan
can,
can read. Josh is looking at this wall of text, and his
I
brain
can-
is going, "Hold
Josh, I will
up."
read it out loud if you really want.
I think I can get the gist from scanning it. However, I'm gonna miss any
I can-
detail, any specific details.
I
Don't worry too much about it.
I can give you the brief rundown. So a woman died in the town, brought to the priest to attempt to resurrect her. They had all the materials, they prepared the ritual, her siblings were there. Started the ritual, the priest heard voices calling out, twisted, disturbed sounding voices telling the woman to run away, fly away, hide away. He remembers the voices being twisted and distorted, and so he tried to reach for the woman's soul, but it shrank back in fear. And then there was another force in the room. The room went dark, and everything was growing darker and darker, and everybody was gripped with this terrible fear. And while he was trying to reach for the woman's soul, his hand went cold, and he could no longer feel her soul, and there was something else reaching back at him. And he ended the ritual, and that was what happened.
Oh fuck!
Crow board, got it.
Oh, yikes!
So yeah. So there, Lena showed that to Vera. Vera showed it to Talia, and then Talia proceeded to create a situation where I could be shown it and fuck.
Well, that's fucked up. What the?
What's Susanna's status as far as being awake?
Susanna is just waking up now.
Yeah.
And she's sort of pushing herself to a seated position and looking around at everybody's faces, which I imagine aren't looking too cheerful.
Dylan never looks cheerful.
Dylan looks normal. She's comfortable with that. Everybody else looks slightly less cheerful than normal. Probably. That's my guess.
Bias, not afraid necessarily, but really weirded out.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll a perception check on Diona to see if she notices Susanna's waking up.
Okay, yeah.
And for once, I want her to roll low. Yeah.
Cool. Diona doesn't
I'm
notice.
gonna say she doesn't. So I'm gonna say, and this gives us some warning about what we're dealing with if we try to reattach Susanna's soul. I don't know what we're gonna have to deal with if we try to, but I know that we're gonna need a barrier, or whatever happened here is just gonna repeat itself, or something worse is going to make its way into Susanna.
Well, I don't like the sound of that.
Hold
A
on.
bunch of dead crows.
I don't like the sound of that either.
Hold on. There might be a way that we can somehow make a
on.
barrier.
No, hold on. Everybody needs to back up and explain
Susanna, Diona just offers the journal.
what. Oh Lord. Did you
It's
steal
gonna be
this or
easier than trying to
something?
put it into words.
Okay. And she reads it.
Yeah.
Very quiet while she reads it. And when she finishes, she says, "Well, Miss Rita was Mrs. Christabel Tucker's sister. She died before I was born, but I hear she was a very nice woman. Mr. Madison was a good man. Lord rest them both." So, you think that might be a problem with what we're trying to do?
Yes, and that
Oh, Lord.
you deserve the right to make the decision on if you still want us to try, knowing that this is a risk.
Oh, my God.
I agree with Vera that it would be a problem,
Yeah.
but something we could work at.
Okay.
But Susanna, ultimately it is your choice.
Right.
Okay?
Right. I sort of, like, I'd come to a decision, you know? I was like, yeah, you know what, let's go for it, because this is good, and I want this. But then, you know, then I just, okay.
We should be able to protect from whatever.
And as this thing said, he was able to draw back. If there's an issue, we might be able to back out of it.
And, Susanna, you are just fine without your soul. It might be nice to reattach it, but you are still you. You will still exist.
Okay.
There is no shame in backing out. However, reading this has reinformed my opinion that we should get out as soon as is convenient. 'Cause...
Right.
Fuck!
Because my town is not so quaint and nice.
Are any small towns actually quaint and nice once you like look at them for more than 2 seconds?
They're
I
not.
At
don't
least
know.
that's what all the books are like.
I haven't really been to many small towns besides the one that I lived in, and I was pretty sure that it actually was quaint and nice until I came back to it, so...
That's when it reveals its secrets the second time around.
Right, but, like, I knew most of the secrets, they just didn't bother me until now, you know?
Oh yeah, because then you leave and then you don't know the secrets and then you come back and you're like, oh hey, wait a minute, why was I cool with that?
Yeah, that's
Talia,
exactly.
Talia pipes up and is just, I mean, this is the first small town I've ever been to, so it's not a great track record.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll find you a nicer one, Talia, and maybe you can start your registry there. Okay. Okay, where am I? Where is me? Where is the bird? And the bird is on the mantle. Okay. What do you think about this? And the bird just taps. It doesn't mean anything. It just taps. And Susanna says, okay. Helpful. You're exactly as helpful as I am at the moment.
I don't think any of us are helpful, actually. Don't be mean to yourself.
It's not myself. It is myself. I'm sorry.
Well, no, like, even outside of Bird Self. You Self, the one that is dressed in black and maybe will dress in other colors eventually, I don't know. You got to be nice to that one, too.
Yes. You're our friend, and we don't want you being cruel to yourself. Okay?
Dylan is so fucking wholesome this session, I actually can't cope like me, PK. It's just too...
Yep. Big
Such
mood.
good content.
Listen, Dylan's gonna be the group therapist. Even though nothing he tells anybody, he will actually apply to himself.
Of
Alright.
course.
Bless him.
Susanna will look back at the journal and hand it back to Lena, probably. And she says, okay, so we think we can probably prevent that from happening, possibly?
I think so. I think Lena and Vera together might be strong enough to ward off whatever's...
That, okay. Vera?
I think it would
Vera,
need to be...
Vera, isn't, like, this is like your whole thing, right? Like, protection and garden things and stuff. Isn't that just, like, your thing? So, that's good. Right? Yeah, I don't know what you do, but I'm sure it's cool. So... Okay.
Sus, is there anywhere in town you feel safe?
Well, frankly, no. Well, yes, but I don't know. Is there anywhere in town that I would actually be safe? Because because the temple should have been all right, shouldn't it? But it's not. Apparently, it wasn't. So,
Susanna, that wasn't what I asked.
Right, but
Is there anywhere you feel safe?
I mean, yeah, I feel safe at Ida's place. I feel safe at Idle Hands, but I mean,
Okay.
that's first of all, a brothel is a hell of a place to reattach a soul.
But it's a
It
place you
would be
feel
pretty
safe,
cool.
and she has made a point of very politely telling the crows to fuck off for the past however many years.
Bias
Yeah.
grins and says that's the place that most people pray on their knees.
Dylan is delighted by the concept of reattaching a soul in the brothel.
Oh my God, Vice! I need you to like go in the corner and take a time out or something.
I feel good. I killed a lot of nasty crows.
That was terrible.
It was good though.
Bias just grins and winks.
I mean, that was
And one of the other advantages to asking for Miss Ida's help is she and her people can possibly keep some attention off us.
Oh, yes, I suppose they could. Nobody does a distraction like Louisa.
I gathered.
Okay.
Put them back under the blankets then. I'm sorry, I have a grumbly Parker who is allergic to cold.
Yep.
Damn. Susanna is just sort of contemplative, and she says, "You know, it would really make my life come like full circle. It would be a thing of beauty, because I was born in Idle Hands. So I will.
Why?
Why? Why not? Where else was I going to be born?
In a house.
Nah, being born in a brothel sounds about right.
I was born where my mama lived, which was not a house. It was Idle Hands.
Ah, that makes sense.
Vias, that's rude.
No, it just
Are you calling my mother a whore, Bias?
no. It makes sense as to your attachment there. I always kind of wondered a little
Could
bit.
call it like she was, but like, yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't so nice of a place back when she was there, but, I'd have whipped it into shape. Yeah.
And again, they have made all effort to tell the crows to fuck off. And it's a place that I feel we can trust enough that a barrier will hold weight.
It's all about
Okay.
intent with things like this.
And Susanna, you cannot tell me that Miss Ida hasn't been spending the last however many years very politely telling the crows to fuck off.
I would not say it like that. I would say it like this, and she says the same sentence in Orcish.
Did you say fuck, Susanna?
No, I did not. I would never do that. I said fuck, but in Orcish. I don't know what that word
I'm
is.
pretty sure that means fuck.
No. It's not fuck because it's not the same syllables. It's
Exactly.
and then Dylan mimics it, but terribly.
That sounds about right. And Diona, I'm not sure we can really trust your knowledge of Orcish. I mean, you don't even know how to say, and then she says a different, very obscure Orcish curse word.
No, I don't. Would you be willing to help fix that?
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
I could teach you some cooking in exchange.
I can cook one thing. It's fine.
But Susanna, then
Me
you could cook
as a
two things.
real life adult.
I could cook two things. You're right. Dylan makes an excellent point, as usual.
I'm not allowed to cook anymore.
I wish I wasn't allowed to cook anymore. Like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's reattach my soul. Let's do it in a brothel, and let's do it and see what happens. That sounds like a great plan. That sounds like a great idea.
Days to prepare.
Right, I mean, yeah, not
We
right
do
now,
have to
but
most of us have to make ourselves seen at the celebration tomorrow.
Hold
Oh,
on
yeah,
a moment. I think we should ask the Mockingbird if it can actually reach that place. I mean, just in case it can't get that far out of
hey,
town.
me, can you go
know?
to Idle Hands? Single tap.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, great. That's good.
That was the only thing that I had reservations on, so...
I think it just likes hanging out where I used to like hanging out.
By your own
You used
grave.
to like hanging out at your grave.
No. Well,
I mean, it's pretty goth, you know,
I mean,
and you
it was-
dress in all black and stuff.
it was a morbid sort of fascination, you know. Don't you just like you get inside your own head and you're like, oh wow, I really could be there right now. Is this even real? But it is, and then you're not in your grave, and it's anyway. But
Susanna?
no,
Experiences are not universal.
Hey, Susanna,
yeah.
I need to introduce you to Goth in Iman, the Goth in Iman.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, you would get along with them great.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see you. I would let you still keep the black.
But you could look cooler.
Are you saying I don't look cool, Dylan O'Brien?
No, we're
First of
saying
all, don't
you
use my last
walked
name.
out of a
Second of
funeral
all,
and
yeah.
have never been allowed to leave.
I look super cool. But the point is that wasn't even, I just got sidetracked. I used to sit by my parents' graves, as one actually does. Quite a bit.
Dana, slightly
God.
confused when you get that, but...
Okay, never mind. You guys are... But I'm saying yes to the soul thing, alright? I am.
Okay.
That is, I'm saying yes on that because, and not just
So-
because I think I should, I just think it's, yeah, I think that's good. I think it'll be good.
Okay.
I think so too.
Thank you, Vice. I
Who
appreciate
wants
it.
to go broach this plan to Miss Ida?
Me.
And when do we want to do it?
Maybe after the festival tomorrow?
Okay.
Because we don't know
Oh,
what
that
will
is-
happen necessarily once this goes down, and it would give them a chance to prepare, yes?
Okay.
Right. I mean, Ida will definitely be making an appearance at the celebration. Oh, I wish I could go. But it will be good. And you guys will have fun. And then we will figure out how to put my soul back into my body. Woo! Yay! Okay. What the hell?
Yeah.
Vias will just like reach out and give her her left arm just a gentle squeeze. It'll be okay.
And I think Dana just... I heard some wild stories about adventurers while I was back home, but this is just...
This is this even an adventure? What is this? I don't...
Everything's an adventure if you eat enough bugs.
It is a spiritual journey. Literally.
A literal spiritual journey?
Yes.
I hate you.
And I adore you as well, Susanna.
Ugh.
We love you, Suze.
Vias
No.
blows her a kiss.
I hate you all. Very much. Quite a bit.
Good for you.
I'd like to see you try.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Dana's just kind of gonna very gentle sort of...
Suzanne is like eating up all the affection. She's smiling while she says all this. And she's leaning into anybody who's like putting an arm around her, touching her shoulder. She's leaning into it. So
Oh.
Yeah.
those are her
Suze
vibes.
and many bugs.
Okay, great. Yay. Decision made. That is good. Talia, do you know if you're gonna go to the festival tomorrow or are you gonna stay here with me?
Well, I'm tempted to go to mess with Liza a little more, but also I don't want to.
I mean, I'm kind of planning on messing with very unfortunately timed rain. Want to see if I can get her to have to bolt.
Oh, you are awful.
A very localized
So
way.
is she.
She is terrible. Oh, I feel worse just being around her, but I appreciate.
Well, at least you know that at every possible opportunity, we are all going to fuck with her.
It's very sweet of you.
Holly goes, I think I will stay back, honestly.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, and Mercy, apparently, he kind of glances at her. She'll stay tomorrow too, it sounds like. She says she's had her fill of dances for a century or something. I don't know.
That's okay. She's a bird. That's weird. Alright, but yeah, it'll be good, and I will have lovely company. This works out great for me. Nicest trip home I've ever had. I've only had one trip home, as I've never left home before, but still.
We do love you, Sus. You're our friend.
Yes.
She sort of turns away and mutters something in Orcish that, like, possibly might be "I love you too," possibly, but she doesn't actually say it in common, and she doesn't say it very loud. So that is, you are left to interpret that.
That's her loss.
Yep.
That is what happens. And then you can all, like, go to bed.
Yeah?
Yes.
And tomorrow, aka next week, you can wake up bright and early and get ready for the celebration.
Hell yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna get
I
biased.
apparently want Damon's help with something before bed, so
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Well, you do that then.
Bias
I
is
have a
gonna get
question.
lit.
What crimes does Talia want help with?
It's no crime, actually.
Sorry, that wasn't meant to be.
It's they want to ask if Diana knows what a deck of cards looks like, and if they could describe it to them.
Okay, that she